Alrighty, we're back for your favorite podcast of the week. It's Location Weekly. It's episode number 568, and we are recording on May the 10th. Brianna, how's it going?
It's going good. It's another beautiful week here in paradise. What can I say? How about you? You're somewhere new?
Same. Yeah, I'm obviously in a new place. I'm in Amsterdam right now in my hotel here. I am speaking this week at the Geospatial World Forum. Obviously, lots of location stuff going on around that. A lot of our members, a lot of different ways to think about how geodata is being used here. Everything from because of the nature of the Geospatial World Forum, it's everything from agriculture use cases to marketing and advertising and real estate and sort of everything in between. So it's pretty fun. It's always interesting to hear kind of what people are doing and how they're coming out of COVID and all of that kind of stuff. So excited about my panels and sessions that I have this week.
Yeah. Maybe next week you can tell us if there's any like big winners or just really exciting things that are going on in that world.
Yeah, for sure. But as per usual, we have a good show for you, 4 stories, a range of things this week. So I'll let Brianna kick us off.
All right. Well, this first story is a mashup of a few large companies. Walmart is now letting shoppers, mobile shoppers, specifically users, find recipes and make meals with just the ingredients that you have at home. So whether that's in your fridge or your pantry, you can do this. So if you are a Snapchat user and you have a Walmart app as well, this is called Snap, Scan, and Shop. So it's made available through Walmart, Snapchat, and then Meredith's All Recipes company. So anybody who has a Snapchat app installed on their phone, you can point your camera, scan the food that you have available, and then you tap this library where all these healthy food recipes. They're also promoting healthy foods, by the way. All these like healthy food recipes, come up with suggestions based on what you have. And then if you need extra ingredients, you are directed obviously to Walmart to shop online and get those extra products maybe that you're missing. So directly through the app, I think this is very interesting to me because it's very targeted in terms of what type of shoppers it is. But I think more and more of us are shopping from our phone. I'm constantly doing like Fresh Direct or something, Target having it delivered just because I need something last minute. Convenience is the name of the game in these days. We're working from home, and in essence, that should make things easier to do, but I'm not sure that's actually the case all the time. They're really targeting millennial and Gen Z consumers, particularly because they're saying that according to a study done by Accenture, they will make up 62% of the global social commerce spending within 3 years. That is insane, right?
Yeah.
Obviously those consumers are traditionally found on TikTok, on Pinterest, Instagram, Snapchat, right? All of these social engagement platforms. And so creating that more native shopping experience within those platforms. I mean, I know for me, just scrolling Instagram, like I am constantly sucked into buying something. I have to stay off of there. It's dangerous, right? So I can only assume that those generations younger than me, whenever you're integrating the technology like you have with the Snap Lens and the image recognition advancements that tech is making, specifically through some of those products and tying it directly to the retailers. One, I think that it's a great business model for TikTok, Snapchat, and the like, right? But I also think that it's a great way to connect with those consumers and just put the ball in their court, right? Like you're coming to where they are rather than trying to get them to shop and purchase through traditional ways that maybe other generations have done in the past. So I think that this is, really interesting. And this is not like the first foray that Walmart has had, in the shoppable food area either. So last year they did a partnership with Kraft Heinz, and they did like these shoppable cooking videos. So, they're just kind of like trying to keep testing the waters, keep putting, I think like dipping their toe in different technologies and figure out what resonates. But I think this one, to me, like out the gate sounds like a clear winner. And I want to try it because I'm always like, oh, what can I make with what I've got? I don't want to have to run to the store to pick up something else. So I think this is genius, but then you are obviously going to be in discovery mode. And when you're looking at those recipes, you think, oh, maybe I'll make this, or maybe I'll make this. And so then you're going to be ready to order like the additional products that you need perhaps for the future. So love this. I think it's great model on all fronts, and I like the technology they're using.
Yeah, so just quickly echo everything you just said. I think it's a great combination of kind of the three parties coming together here. You know, it's interesting. What's interesting for me is we see a lot of this type of stuff, you know, in store with like, you know, what's in the shopping cart, like when you're there, you know, like using sensors or things like that. There's been other projects that, you know, we've highlighted on the show in the past years where they've had technology integrated to the point of sale system, and then it like looks at what you've just purchased, and then on the back of the receipt that comes out is a recipe recommendation. I know that I think it was Hellman's that did a project like that some years ago. You know, if you had mayonnaise in there, and it would like put everything together and make up a recipe for something, you know, with that, but it would be printed on your receipt. But what I like about this is based on like actually what's in your fridge, what's at home. You're not even in the store physically, and they're, you know, giving you recommendations based on what you've already got. And then if you're missing items or you need additional things, then it pushes out to obviously Walmart.com and through the app, and you can kind of order and you know, sort of add the items that you need. So I like that it's kind of, you know, not just immediately driving you to the store. It's like, you know, starting with what you've already got and trying to create some added value through the app and through the partnership with All Recipes. And of course they're leveraging, you know, sort of relevant current technology with the Snap AR lenses here. And, you know, we talk obviously a lot on the show about AR and the metaverse and this, that. So obviously that segment, that population that you talked about, you know, 62%, you know, people, you know, is a big number. So I think it makes sense. So I really like it. All right, on to our second story. So another retailer, Joann Stores. This is a specialty arts and crafts retailer. You know, wanted to kind of get into, you know, doing some location-based geofencing with its stores and in-store mobile offers. They actually, you know, were first thinking, hey, we'll build our own in-store, you know, in-house solution. Realized, hey, you know, we don't have the expertise and the capability to do that well, and then started looking out, you know, for vendors that could help them, and they ended up partnering with Radar on, you know, a solution around this, and so basically it checks, you know, to see, you know, where the person is within a Joann store geofence, and then once the user's inside the store, it pushes a free shipping coupon, encouraging the customer to place an online order if the item that they're looking for in the store isn't available. And so what I like about this is, you know, that initial use case that they're driving this to isn't, you know, people are physically shopping. They're in the store, and maybe whatever it is that they want isn't, you know, it's out of stock or it's not available or whatever. But rather than you leaving the store to then go and find, you know, an alternative product at a competitor or whatever else, they're letting you sort of, you know, order right then and there from their, you know, from their online e-commerce site, but doing it within the store and offering you free shipping and kind of using the mobile technology to detect your presence to enable that to happen. So I kind of think that's a great, interesting use case, to try and, you know, keep people, you know, within the Joann environment. And, you know, of course they have other, you know, other use cases for this as well, you know, that they can do around, you know, different, you know, couponing or different types of services that they can offer based on your location data. And just to share some numbers, they say in-store mode, Joann's in-store mode within their app is giving people a reason to opt into location sharing. In fact, they're saying 89% of app users are opting in to share location. That's a huge number. You know, you don't see numbers like that, you know, all the time. And they say in-store coupon offers powered by Radar's geofence. They've generated more than 25,000 incremental orders with an ROI of 718%. So seems to be working well for them, right? That's what the numbers are saying. What are your thoughts on this, Abriana?
You know, it's timely that we're covering this story. I was actually just in a Joann fabric store a couple weeks ago, and I just had to run in and get buttons. If you know me, you know I love a good thrift store, so I had to replace some buttons on a new blouse that I bought. So I ran in, and here's the thing. I am all for a great mobile program. I love and I applaud the retailers that put focus there. And I think those numbers are great data points. But the issue with Joann is not their mobile program. The issue with Joann is that their customer service is awful. Like every time I go in a store, there's no employees that care. They're on their phone. They're never like in a hurry to check people out. The store is a disaster. Like that's where you should be investing in, because if I go into your store, I don't want to order anything online. I just want to get out. I don't want to support that. So for me, it's like a mix up of priorities. And if it was just one Joann store, I'd be like, oh, maybe it's just that one. I'm like, no, it's every single one I go in. So
Yeah,
get
we
your,
don't have them, so I can't comment on that in Canada.
you know, what's interesting is like, okay, every time you go to a Chick-fil-A, I would say 99 times out of 100, you have a great customer service experience, and the mobile offers and the mobile, like in the app, that shopping experience is amazing. So it's the conjunction of those two pieces that make people want to be there and shop. So I think one, it's amazing that you're getting 89% of people opting in for location. Imagine how much more that would be if people came into the store and they had a really good experience, just because the people were also reflective of that experience that you have on mobile. So I like the efforts. I think it's great to keep people there. I think it's a good application of geofencing. I'm not sure on, like, in terms of reach, how many mobile app users Joann has. I had been in their rewards like mobile program where I would get texts for offers all the time. Rarely did I cash in on them, but I'm also not like a big artsy craftsy person. So, you know, I can see where that resonates really well. So I think that they're doing a great job there. And I love that they're, you know, a traditional fabric kind of craft store trying to do more tech savvy things. But I think there needs to be an alignment between the experience that you have in the digital world and the one that you have in the real world.
Fair.
All
Okay.
right. Okay, so let's go to something kind of you know, like a that touches the heart here a little bit. This is a good combo of, I would say, like philanthropic and good technology. So, or I should say advanced technology, but this company is called Homestart, and their focus is to help raise money in essence, but like raise awareness, raise money for families who are in threat of eviction, right? So they're doing this through the metaverse. They are selling digital apartments in the Cornerstone metaverse. So this is a not-for-profit organization, and they're really dedicated to ending homelessness. And the project is called Inverse. So families who are on the brink of eviction, they're going to be getting this support, you know, from Homestart. And they do that because the price of these apartments are starting at around one Ethereum, which is about $3,000 US dollars. And so approximately that is the cost of what it would take to halt an eviction and provide 12 months of support for a family in a major city in the United States. So, you know, they threw out some stats that I thought were very interesting, which was in 2020, nearly 600,000 Americans were regularly unhoused. That's insane. You know, this is obviously like they're behind rent, the risk of eviction. COVID did not help with a lot of this, you know, surging housing costs. We've seen this, I think, all over the world. It's just been insane. And so Cornerstone is what they're calling like the first photorealistic metaverse. So they're building these complexes in this virtual world. It's created by Zone, Zoan, which is a virtual studio out of Helsinki, Finland. And it's set to open at the end of 2022. But these NFTs, there's going to be a total of 49 of them that are going to be available. And there's 8 floor plans. So there's a Boston-based architecture firm called Icon designing these. So if you're interested in like buying digital real estate in the metaverse, and you know, you just want to like buy a cool NFT and support a great cause, definitely check this out. You know, this resonated with me not only because NFTs are a hot topic. People are trying to figure out how do they get involved? Like, where do they kind of start to explore this? Is it art? Is it, you know, something maybe around the sports world? And this to me is very cool. But it made me remember just a few days ago, our friends at Samaritan, who are also focused on using technology to help end homelessness, specifically Bluetooth technology that they have implemented in Seattle. They just had an investor come along, and it's called Acumen. So Acumen, if you are listening to this, definitely check out this company as well. but they are focused on investing into scalable poverty alleviation across the world. And so I thought, hey, this is like, it's great to see and hear more of these stories happening using tech for good, helping end homelessness. I fully support this. And this is an NFT project I could get behind and like get excited about a little bit more. What do you think?
1000%. So, first of all, it's great that you brought up Samaritan. I can still remember when we had our Retail Loco conference in Seattle, and we first had Samaritan there. And I think the guy's name was Rain or
Yeah.
something like that. I think it was Rain. This homeless individual that came on stage and shared his experience, with the Samaritan technology and how it helped him feel like somebody that was normal, somebody that was part of society and recognized. And the Samaritan Project was about sort of connecting everyday citizens with homeless individuals, but letting you actually know who they are and what their story is and how they became homeless, and sort of actually connecting with them. And Samaritan's tagline is "Walk with, not by." And so I love all of these kinds of projects, and so I think this is obviously NFTs. We've been talking about NFTs for months and months and months on the show now. But I love that you can sort of jump into that world at a fairly relatively low cost point, relative to what we see NFTs going for these days, $3,000, and buy a piece of virtual real estate, and know that by doing so that you're also helping people stay off the streets in the real world. Which I think is the world we all still live in, right? We're not living in virtual worlds. We're living in a real world, and that's the world where there's so much pain and suffering and people with need. And so I love that Homestart is doing this, and I love that they're seeing this opportunity around virtual real estate. And I did like have a chance to go play around, or at least check out the Cornerstone metaverse a little bit, and it's beautiful. Like this photorealistic sort of imagery they talk about, it's really quite something. So I'm encouraged to see more and more of these types of projects. So yeah, awesome stuff. All right, on to our final story for this week. Completely different now. We're going to jump over to Italy, and there is a startup in Italy called Vado, or Vado, Vado. They're based in Turin, and they're a software company that, and Vado stands for Vending Automatic Delivery Operations. So they're in the vending machine business, and they've introduced a new e-commerce solution that essentially links up, sort of Uber Eats type of functionality. In fact, they've teamed up with delivery apps like Uber Eats, Deliveroo, Glovo, and Just Eat. And then they sort of embed their software into these vending machines, and now you can sort of just like you order from restaurants and have it delivered via Uber Eats or like services, now you can order from vending machines as well. And so the order comes in, the driver just receives the order, travels to the vending machine, punches in a code on the machine spits out the order, dispenses it in a bag, and then the rider can deliver that to the customer. So it's completely the same as a restaurant order, but coming from a vending machine. And so these guys have a bunch of their own vending machines currently in 4 cities, in Turin, Milan, Rome, and Salerno. But they also have 5 sort of external customers that operate their own vending machines. And they, the software is designed that it can work, third party with any vending machine, I guess. And so they have a bunch of customers like that as well. So I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, there wasn't any detail about sort of what's in these vending machines, products wise, or selection and inventory, but I'd be interested to see kind of, what types of products are available there, because, I can obviously, it's easy for me to picture, what I order from a restaurant and have delivered to me. It's a little more challenging for me to think about what I would want from a vending machine per se, but maybe that that could be things like, I don't know, cigarettes or cannabis products, or other things that are available in vending machines over North America at least. that you see in different situations. And if they have age verification technology and things like that built in, even better. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, of course, my first thought was, what kind of food can I get? Can I get like Italian pizza, freshly made out of a vending
Yeah,
machine? I don't think so. Um, yeah, and I was like, do they still sell cigarettes in vending machines? I don't know that I've seen that in a long time. Like the old school bars where you had to put in a ton of
yeah,
quarters. But yeah, I mean, I think this is interesting, but it also makes me think of like what kind of vending machine opportunities are there for like mini kitchens, right? You kind of, let's say it's pizza, and you perfect this pizza that a vending machine oven can make and kind of just automate there. And it's got the ingredients inside of it, and it kind of just does its thing and spits it out, upon delivery. I think that could be really interesting, but I think it all comes down to like, what's the model? Because we've also seen a lot of these stores that were on wheels, right? Where you just have the
yeah,
store that comes, and if there's cigarettes and chips and soda and the little things that you might get out of a vending machine, to me, that model makes much more sense because one, you kind of eliminate as much of like the supply chain aspect as like the driver going to the vending machine and then delivering it. And you also have the opportunity to upsell because everything is right there in front of the consumer when they walk outside their door, and there's this cart and it's got all the stuff in it, right? So I think that it just depends on what's the model here, and what's the price point. If it's just chips and you've got to pay a driver, there's like, I have questions, but
yeah. So I
yeah,
just jumped on their website to like check out a bit more, and so it says they've got kind of six main categories. So they have what they're calling like pharmacy type stuff, so from condoms to supplements. Then they've got late night like snacks and sweets, donuts and packaged pastries and things. They have alcohol as a category. So I guess they're vending machines that have alcohols or juices or whatever. And then there's beauty, like so makeup and things like that. So I guess like if it's kind of the kind of thing where you don't have stores that are open 24 hours, or there's limited hours, and there's something like you need, and there's a vending machine I guess that carries those kinds of things. I guess that makes sense, especially if it's late night, or I don't know.
yeah, yep, yes, a woman cannot live without her lipstick in the morning. If something breaks or gets lost, you got to get something,
You got
right?
to get some. Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, very cool. A good range of stories for this week. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. This has been episode number 568 of Location Weekly. We thank you, as always, for your time. Please reach out if you have story ideas or feedback. We'd love to hear about it. And we'll be in touch next week with yet another show. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.